be a bit rough. They go back, they recover, they build farm. Falcons with this kind of lineup is not going to give you that much space. They're not going to give you a lot of room to breed. The lane setups they have, this Razor last pick for Amar into an Abaddon, it's going to be an atrocious time for Got the Juice. And I think that's what you have to be cautious about here on NAVI. You have to stem the bleeding in the lanes. You have to find a solution for how active this Primal Beast and this Nature's Prophet will be. Because once they get that ball rolling, the recovery process for, say, a hero like Abaddon after a slower game isn't the most straightforward when you have so much presence here out from the side of Falcons. Maybe you can kind of rely on PMA and Niku. It feels like this is the two connections you're looking for. Like a good start on your Timbersaw. Kaya timing can be quite nice. Get some durability up. You can get some things going.
Well, Bounty Runes doesn't look like there's going to be any kind of fighting to break out. Should be a 2-for-2 trade. There is one left at the top side, but they will be able to secure for the side of Na'Vi. Gotta say as well for Falcons draft, like, it really does feel like they got all their comfort picks, didn't it? You know, just it feels like all the picks they've made very comfortable for these heroes. As top lane, Skidder could get caught by Iridies and Zayat. They're trying to be a little bit cheeky. Glimpse is going to be leveled up, drag him all the way back. Zayat, what's he skilled up? Ooh. Sprout will come out, blocking the way for Skidder. That's not going to help his cause at all. Zayat still holding out, will eventually go for the Brambles, but a nice juke away from Skidder, but the Blood Grenade is going to land. And first blood drawn by Zayat on the Dark Willow. And I love that kind of play, John. Just the preemptiveness to know he's going to be coming from that area.
Yeah, and again, when you look at how they set up these lanes, when you look at the aggression that can come out, like say top lane with the NP plus Tusk, just finding that early opening does wonders for your early game here. We're already seeing some of those shenanigans on middle coming out from Malrine, cutting through creep waves, forcing it all under tower here. Niku shouldn't have a problem in farming, but you lose that impact of the Monkey King matchup when you're not allowed to bully the Primal Beast because he's just not playing lane. You've got the early ward set up, you're constantly going for the pull, and this is where the challenge lies for Niku. Yes, you're going to farm, but you're not crushing that lane like a Monkey King normally would up against a melee matchup, and if Malrine just gets his farm build up and his EXP into that level 5 timing we heard the panel talk about, there are going to be issues here.
Yeah, you can see the warding as well from Falcons. Like, they've warded both the mid lane and the Radiant jungle, so there's no really cutting off Malrine from doing this. He'll have a heads up if they are making the rotation to try and stop this from happening. So heads up play from Falcons. Of course, Niku, he can try to intervene. He's going to try now with the Primal Spring to force Malrine away a little bit, but the problem is the creep wave is going to go into his tier 1 tower. And so he will have to return and address that. Might miss a creep. In fact, he doesn't. But Malrine still going to be able to get away with this just fine, and Niku, he can't really connect with the creep wave.
No, it's going to hurt not being able to bully out this Primal Beast, this timing into the level 5, into just some free EXP for a hero that in this matchup shouldn't really have much if you play it directly head on. It's going to be an interesting challenge for Niku. He's doing what he can, contesting when it's pulled behind a tier 1, trying to get some action going, but until you get maybe a support rotation out, let's say movement from your Disruptor, which, as you mentioned, is covered by the ward, it is going to be a consistent challenge here for Niku. Still curious to see how the other lanes are going. You are getting a lot of early pressure out from Amar already.
Yeah, Riddy's going to be a big trouble. Glimpse already committed. Riddy's still trying to run, but Amar able to secure a kill for himself down to this bottom lane. And, well, this lane's certainly not going to be the simplest for Na'Vi. Not too much fun here against the Razor and the Muerta. Especially if you end up using that Glimpse a little bit too early. It's a pretty free path for ATF to just run in with the static link.
Yeah, and there's not much you can do here for Got the Juice, right? Like, you've got a lot of ways of getting people into the firing line of Amar with crit, you know, just a dead shot out, a good slow with a calling. You don't have, your Aphotic Shield really isn't going to do much for you here outside of just the durability coming in for Got the Juice. And this is where the beauty of that last pick Razor really comes in. Again, the lane matchup's great. The game itself for the Razor is pretty clear cut. You have a lot of heroes you can just kind of sap away. And for the side of Na'Vi, I mean, I don't know what you expect if Got the Juice has a slow game, right? Like, we've been seeing a lot of standardization on the Abaddon, going back for Radiance, especially on the carry. This timing doesn't feel like it's going to be all too good to kind of hit that Radiance timing this kind of game.
No, certainly not. It's going to be a rough time, that's for sure. How's that top lane? Zayats and PMA against Skidder and Snaking. It shouldn't be too awkward here for PMA and Zayats. In fact, I dare say Skidder's the one that probably has to be quite careful. Snaking as well does not want to get too close. Skidder, though, probably just going to stand back, relax, you know, hit some creeps, do some Nature's Prophet things. No need to get involved, as Crit has made the call that he can't buy items.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, hopefully sorted out for Amar there with a quick little reconnect. We'll see. Hopefully.
Or they could just play the game without items.
Yeah, could be one way.
That's all right.
What are we going back to, like Dota 1?
Oh, it's that. I mean, we had items back then,
I
John.
mean, but you'd run into lane with the dumbest items.
True.
Right? Like, everyone had Sanjin Yasha or Vanguard or the all Perseverance build.
Don't remind me, John. Don't do that.
Those were the golden days.
Don't remind me of double Vanguard axe. Don't do that to me, John.
Good old days. Still, I think the one thing I'd like to see from Falcons up top is when we will see that commitment out from Skeeter to maybe get some early movement out. This is one specialty on the Nature's Prophet, right? Like with the teleportation up, we've seen some teams just swing down bot, keep that bullying going. It doesn't feel like you really need to do that just yet on Skitter. So you are happy enough to just sit and farm, maybe look for an opportunity. You do have the drinking buddies up here for snaking as well. He has been leaning into this one much more often than the tag team that we've seen other players pick up, especially in the road to the Esports World Cup. I'm keen of seeing if that will give them enough spacing to kind of juke and jive here later on. Otherwise, a pretty quiet start. You are finding that farm you'd want on PMA. And we were talking about this Timber Saw being one of the keys for NAVI to hit their own tempo. You are kind of lined up pretty decently for, what should be within expectations for, say, a Kaya timing and start to get that damage output up. It just feels like Falcons are still getting too much on mid. Again, you're still getting all of these pulls on Malrine. We haven't seen any commitment out from the side of NAVI to try to punish. So it's just free farm and free XP. Yet, yeah, you're getting that same thing going for Niku. But we'll have to see if his rotations come in earlier. I mean, he's got the levels for it if you'd want. Level 5 already up. Could try to sit and wait until 6, but Wukong's isn't too important for the Monkey King to make a move across the map.
Oh, Niku. They'll just continue the farm game. Pretty much the best he can do right now. Not seeing any openings in the side lanes at all. But things are going relatively well, even for NAVI, though. Like, the safe lane, yes, it's a little bit slower for Got the Juice, but PMA's having a very free game on the Timbersaw. And well, Niku, while he isn't able to stop Malrine at all, he is still keeping on parity, which isn't exactly what you want, but, it's better than being behind, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's silver linings coming out. It's just going to come down to, again, there's going to be an explosive moment, maybe by the first power rune, perhaps, in a minute, although, again, maybe not the most important here for both sides. Really building into what should be like this 8 to 10 minute mark when levels start to come in, when some small items start to form up, you start to get some openings to play with this early power spike. That's when I'd honestly like to see a little bit more out from Na'Vi, right? Like, especially with its Monkey King of Niku.
Yeah, Niku get jumped a little bit there with the onslaught of Malrine. We'll look to try and turn now that the onslaught is down, but Malrine plenty fast enough to be able to walk away from Niku. Has the phase boots up, so just won't really mind at all. And it looks like Malrine's probably going to be the first to start making rotations in the Primal Beast, especially around this 6-minute power rune mark. Take the power rune if you can, go for a rotation down bottom perhaps. Crit's already around to ensure they can guarantee the power rune for themselves. Unless it spawns top, of course. You are bringing snaking in as well, so they are putting a lot of priority on these power runes, Falcons. Riddies will show up down bottom. Power rune is going to spawn up top, and Niku gets it anyway. So Niku manages to pick it up. They're going to make a chase on the snaking to try and punish for this rotation. Snaking going to try and buy a bit of time, but there's no help coming for him. He's going to find his own way out. He'll get a nice shards off, but it's not going to make the difference. Snaking certainly going to go down. Niku very happy with that pickup. Glimpse back, Crit. Got the Juice will come in. Crit forced TP away. Quick thinking from Crit, no real danger.
Yeah, but this is the kind of movement you're looking for. Again, launching point in the power rune, a little bit of activity coming out from Niku. I think overall you're not too upset in Falcons. You had a massive stack that just kind of freely clear here for Malrine in his triangle. He manages to get his level 6. He's got the threat of Pulverize up so long as certain spells are committed first. A bit of a chase up top now with that spike.
Okay, can you kill PMA? We'll see. They're going to give it a crack. PMA will get Pulverized. Riddy's going to show up though with the Glimpse and Malrine. Well, he can't do it himself, that's for sure. So the rotation from Malrine, first one of the game, not really amounting to anything. And I think PMA, arguably the hardest target to try and go for right now.
That he is. You need a lot of that magic damage to really come in. And you do have a decent chunk here if you can get the full trample going on Malrine, but up against that mobility in the Timbersaw, it can be a daunting task for the Primal Beast to kind of get that done by himself. At least until maybe you get some connections out from Crit. A good dead shot, of course, a Calling can fix that up, but didn't find the opportunity to make that move up top. They are still camping the area. Pulverize isn't the longest cooldown here.
I mean, I don't think they can kill him. PMA, I'm pretty sure, will just be perfectly fine. He's got Riddies there anyway. They're going to try with the Pulverize, but it does nothing. PMA more than happy to just tank that and just go back to farming. They'll need at least a +1 if they want to try for PMA. We'll see what Maureen does do. Looks like he might go through the twin gates and try bottom instead. Certainly feels like the more advised idea has got the juice. Already looking to retreat. So it looks like they've read the movement quite well here, NAVI. Maureen, best he can do now, just try to secure the bottom tier 1 tower. No siege creep available, sadly, John, so it's going to be a bit of a slower process here for Maureen. Meanwhile, mid though, Niku, he's got an amp damage rune, and well, even without the siege creep, he's going to make quick work of it if they don't do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a lot of free space for Niku as well. Like, while all of that movement from Maureen came out, it's been free pickings for Niku, no threat of pulse, getting that steady build-up. Has good wards as well to watch if anyone rotates onto the mid. Nice cheeky attempt out from Crit, doesn't quite find the deny.
Ooh.
You get yourself that nice build-up now.
That's a nice-looking tango, isn't it, John? That's a nice-looking tango.
An amp damage tango. That should be a real item.
That should be an idea?
Yeah, wouldn't that be pretty cool?
We've got the assets for it, John.
Yeah, what if you could tango the power route?
No, think about it. Tango with amp, you get +5 damage. +2 damage. +2 damage.
+2 damage.
It's genius.
You combine it with like a branch?
No.
Okay.
It costs a little. It costs 65 gold.
Okay.
Well, whatever.
For one charge. Isn't that just like Fairy Fire with more steps?
We'll talk about it later, John. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, top lane. Tier 1 tower. You always shut me down, John. I always have these genius ideas, and you always go,
that one's cool.
Isn't it the same as this?
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Somewhat.
It's not the same.
I do like the model.
You get 3 charges, John. It's genius.
Okay. Isn't that just like the old neutral, greater Fairy Fire?
Shut up, John. Just shut up.
That was a neutral. They're clearing out some stacks here, also clearing some neutrals on the side of NAVI, getting that build-up you'd want on PMA. And the Kaya timing on our Timbersaw is lining up nicely. In fact, that farm distribution for NAVI just looking a little bit sharper overall. You've sacrificed Got the Juice's build-up, but you've got that momentum in from PMA and Niku, who are matching Amar, who's had a very free lane. So that is some good news here for NAVI. That early tempo from Falcons, you're not getting that much rotations out from Skitter. He's going to be farming until the Maelstrom. And so you have that room to make some plays on NAVI. They're not fully committing for too much. A little bit of a smoke from Falcons. Unsure if that was fully spotted by the ward, though.
I think it might have been. They did pick up a shield rune from Maureen as well. That was definitely spotted. They might just stick around for these stacks. Niku is going to break the smoke, but immediately jumps away. But I don't think NAVI let this go. I think they're going to intervene here and go for a fight. They know the stacks have been scouted. They've got the numbers to try and fight this one out. I mean, mind you, Maureen with the shield rune could prove to be a little bit too tanky. They are going to try to take the Ancients. Pings are coming. They know it's happening. But NAVI, they will indeed not try. They will let this go. Falcons, they'll basically rob the side of NAVI.
Yeah, they steal away the massive Ancient stacks that NAVI was not in position to really take themselves early on. At least just a large camp going their way, so you don't lose as much. But this passive style now for NAVI is feeding into what you'd want on Falcons. And you've got all the room in the world for Skitter to get that form. Yes, you can kind of play early on the Primal Beast, but you're getting these items still up here for Maureen. A Blink coming out, likely a BKB afterwards, just to ensure you're not going to get interrupted when you pulverize away. And Amar on that Razor, again, it's just camping bot. There's no threat, there's no rotation. You are farming well enough on NAVI, but your big weak point is that Abaddon. Like, in comparison, playing catch-up in Abba just does not feel good. The Radiance timing for Got the Juice isn't going to be particularly impressive. They'll try to catch mid.
They won't land the Brambles, so Snaking going to be perfectly fine to walk out of there. They've already found the mid-tier 1. Meanwhile, Got the Juice is being chased down, is forced to pop the borrowed time to survive. Will be able to make it out. ATF, though, still completely free farming that bottom lane. Meanwhile, mid, Crit and Maureen gonna show up to see if they can hunt Niku, and in fact, they'll jump in. Nice glimpse away. Niku's still alive. Will pop the Wukong's command. They are still trying here with Crit. Crit, he's gonna pop the Pierce the Veil. It's not good enough yet, though. Niku, he'll bounce his way out. A Skitter, he's gonna move in. Here comes ATF. They'll find Riddies. They will not find Niku or Zayats. They both make it out of it.
It's a nice little dodge coming out from Niku, on point with using that changing of the guard facet quite nicely there. It does waste a couple of spells. He did have to drop Static Storm. Ah, okay. The new facet, all right. Hopefully it fixes again with a reconnect.
I didn't enjoy this.
Oh, ATF. Bag abuse.
Back, of course.
In another life, ATF would have been a stand-up comedian, honestly.
I mean, I suppose.
Why? What do you got to say about that, John?
I mean,
Go on, critique him. What's the problem now?
no, I mean, Amar's a funny guy. I just don't know if he always means to be funny.
Oh.
You know?
Oh.
Right? Like, he would make some good bits, but he's the kind of comedian who's just like, yeah, that's not really a bit. I'm serious. You know, he's like, yeah.
Well, I think you're a dumb guy, John, but I don't know if you always mean to be dumb.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair enough.
I don't mean it, John. I don't think you're actually dumb. You're a smart guy. Don't worry, John. Don't give me those puppy dog eyes.
What puppy dog eyes? I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking at the game, Mike. We got the unpause going. Got some action on the map. I say action, we're at 2-2. You know?
That's all right, John. That's all right. 13 minutes in, 2-2. Action-packed Dota 2 here right at the EWC.
Could be worse, I guess. You could be watching maybe some Southeast Asian Dota.
Hey, don't say that.
Not happening any longer.
Don't
This
say that.
This reminds me a lot of some Southeast Asian Dota, doesn't it, though? Just very patient. Get some farm going.
I mean, you can appreciate it. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot on the line.
Look, the panel sold me on high action Dota because there's a lot of aggression. I'm not. It's not yet there. It's coming.
You know you can't trust the panel, John.
No, but it's Tsunami. It's BSJ. How can you
Yeah.
not trust them?
Zayats in trouble. We'll get the Terrorize away. Maureen probably not going to try and dive through that tier 2. We'll just leave it. So Zayats another way out.
Yeah, just dodging death. Does have to throw out the Terrorize, a little bit of a cooldown to play with, but it just doesn't feel like either side can capitalize. I will say in terms of the macro game, again, you look at where Falcons is playing, they're right across the river, they're denying farm away from NAVI. Even though it's a very static game, this is taking space away from NAVI to feel too comfy in their bot jungle. They haven't been able to cross into the top jungle as effectively either. So it's map space that you're not really equalizing on for NAVI. And for Falcons, this is just going to build into a more noticeable lead later on, especially as, again, perhaps at this point, just wait for the 20-minute mark, wait for these timings. The catch-up game for Got the Juice is still very, very rough on the Abaddon. Still lacking 1.5k gold for that full Radiance. And I mean, for the Abaddon, until you hit Radiance, you're not really recovering. So you're just kind of stuck with an Abaddon that just needs a lot of room. You've got some ways to play, but you'd want some BKBs up as well, Na'Vi. You run the risk of running into Falcon's own BKB timings. And when it comes down to BKB timings on either side, Falcons has more ways to deal with that debuff immunity. They've got the punch to stop teleportations away. You've got a Razor who doesn't care. You've got Pulverize that doesn't care for debuff immunity. So if it is a weight on multiple BKBs here, that plays right into what Falcons would probably want anyway. Maybe the smoke starts to pan out and you start to get some room out here for Na'Vi.
Let's find out, Jonathan. Na'Vi, 3-man smoke. The run through the mid lane, up the river towards top. PMA is already there, ready to go. Na'Vi, I mean, they've already found the top of mid-tier 1 tower. Like, they've been finding objectives, is the thing. I don't think Na'Vi in particular want to play slow, but it's like, what else are you meant to do at this point? If nothing's happening, it's like, do we just go make errors?
Yeah.
You know? That's kind of what it feels like right now for Na'Vi.
Yeah, all they can do if there are no opportunities presented is just play your farm game. You know, you're making these smoke moves across. You do manage to set some good forward vision up top. Maybe now you can just invade that top jungle, as Falcons is doing on the bot, and trade that farm space away. Slight lead coming out from Falcons in this interim period now, just 2k up, so we're at 2-2, 2k, 16 minutes in. Very nice so far. You are reaching some big points here again for Falcons. It's a BKB on Maureen's forming up. The full Maelstrom is coming soon for Skitter. And for Amar, it's another BKB as well. And again, it just feels like for Na'Vi, if you wait for these BKBs, you start to lose damage. Right now, all of your damage is pretty much on PMA. Maybe Niku can start to do some work. You don't have anything to really speak of on Got the Juice just yet. And again, you don't have a way of dealing with that debuff immunity here for the side of Na'Vi. So it is concerning that Falcons are dodging out so well, because once you hit those BKBs, how do you stop Pulverize? How do you stop Amar from just running you down? I don't see the answers.
Yeah, I mean, the BKB is certainly going to be very scary. And you look at the third, rather the second, third, and fourth net worth on the graph, it's all Falcons. PMA is the only guy for his team at the top right now, and it looks like ATF's about to take over anyway. Sure, things will escalate once the Radiance is up, right? Maybe that's what it is. Still got the juice. He just needs more farm. Fair enough. He'll have his Radiance coming rather soon, but it does feel like Falcons are going to be more than ready soon to start smoking up his unit and forcing these fights. Yep. NAVI, we'll see how they counterfight, but certainly the net worth advantage not looking too pretty in their favor.
No. I mean, again, at least you're #1 on PMA. It's just that the BKBs kind of ruin you here in the Timbersaw. You could still find a backline. That could be the way to go here for the side of NAVI. Just look for these softer supports. Kind of try to just get him out of here. Try to remove the saves from snaking. And the game does simplify just a tad bit. I suppose there's always that team fight threat as well. If you can kind of get a static storm going, if you can find that timing before the BKBs. But again, there's just no opportunity. Falcons are playing so smart, so safe. The vision game has been pretty decent as well from NAVI. Like, it's not like they haven't been trying. Again, that top ward by the Tormentor is still standing. They've got some good sentries blocking off the vision game from Falcons as well. There is a ward down bot from Falcons, but they haven't been able to really catch anyone out down there either. And you do at least manage to finally get that Radiance going on Got the Juice. So now the actual recovery can happen. Sure. They spot the gate movement across the map here as well for NAVI with their ward. Maybe get some punishment.
Oh, they're going to find Snaking. Snaking not able to get through the twin gates in time. So PMA will look to take his life away, and certainly will. No problems there. 3-2 now. 3K advantage the way of Falcons, and NAVI finding kills. We've got one every 6 minutes for NAVI's thus far.
Yeah.
This game's going about as slow as our careers did, John.
Yeah, I'd say a little bit quicker.
Maybe.
a little bit quicker, you know, and you know, it's not ending yet. You know, it's not close to the end, Mikey.
I was going to say, I don't think it's that slow.
It's not that slow, and we have a ways to go. Unlike us, I suppose, you know, life is short, Mikey.
Yeah, these young men, they have plenty of promise.
That they do.
Yeah.
In comparison to whatever we're doing here. 3-2, 3K lead. Is there anything I forgot to talk about?
How's your day?
It's been pretty good. You know, it's been nice staying here in Riyadh. It's been a lovely time.
It has been a lovely time.
It has been very lovely. It's been a very different experience from the tropics, let me tell you. I'm not used to dry air. So it's amazing to me that one can stand outside and not actually feel sweat.
It's all about the shawarma, John.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Oh, we had some good ones.
It's next level. I'm never going to be able to eat one in Australia again.
No.
It's very disappointing, but yeah. My eyes have been open.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to miss the food. It's been amazing.
Moving back into the game, though, John. We're happy you enjoyed your Riyadh experience.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Maybe not.
NAVI, looking for the 20-minute power room. It's going to be a region. No problem. Got the juice, will take that.
Yeah, not the one you'd want to find. Maybe you're hoping for an amp damage or haste, or even an illusion at this point, just a split push. Some initial BKBs coming up. Blink BKB up for Malrine. So Blink Pulverize ready to go. Even Amar standing by with his own BKB, and heck, even Skitter looking for his own BKB now. So triple BKBs are coming on. You've got the BKB up for PMA at the very least. So you can maybe put yourself in the front line here, but you're not going to do damage, is my concern for the side of NAVI. Tormentor is spawned up. You're tempted to go for it on Falcons, but they've got to clear these wards out, and they will.
Yeah, absolutely. There is NAVI coming in, though. They're not going to let this Tormentor go for free, but it might be a little bit awkward trying to get to this high ground area. They have grouped up, 3-man smoke behind Got the Juice, who's trying to bait Falcons into moving in for a fight, but they will not. They'll just continue to hold the high ground around the Tormentor. Snaking. Will break the smoke of Zayats. PMA, though, he's just going to jump right in. Malrine already got the BKB off. It looks like Snaking could be in a spot of danger as PMA will just chase him down. Meanwhile, Zayats, he does go down to Malrine. As PMA still trying to kill Snaking. Should eventually have it, and he does now, but can he survive? He cannot. They do pick off the Timber. Massive fight so far for Falcons. Got the juice to come in. They're onto ATF, but they're doing no damage. ATF, he's too darn big at the moment. He'll walk away with the BKB. They'll chase down Crit instead here with the Got the Juice, but Pierce the Veil has been popped. He is fine. Is now the Bedlam used. Still trying. Is the Willow, but it's not enough. As ATF will jump in, tank some of that Bedlam damage, and Zayat will indeed die back on the Dark Willow. Falcons, all that farming, very clearly paying off.
That it is. Again, it's this triple BKB timing. It's the fact that with the debuff immunity, you have a lot of ways of working around it on Falcons, and you're just not really set here on Got the Juice to do much. I mean, yes, he has the Radiance on Abaddon. You can't really expect too much from this hero at this point yet, until maybe the Manta, even the Blink. Chances are you'd actually want like a Bash or an Orchid up in this kind of game to provide some more control for your team. And this is the explosiveness we were expecting here from this game one. 4-6, yes, 7K lead is insane for Falcons to find off of just one fight after all that tension. And this is where the concern starts to kick in for NAVI. Do you have enough to carry through this game? Will your own BKB suffice? You're working into your own here for Niku. You're going to get into that point as well. You've got the Ags being queued up for PMA just to get some more durability and damage out. But again, you've pretty much free-farmed this entire game for Skitter. You've free-farmed this entire game for Amar. You're about to hit your next big items to come in. You've got the refresh being queued up by Malrine as well. So double BKB, double Pulverize is going to be a concern. I'd say one big timing you could maybe bank on here for Na'Vi is a Disruptor Ags. Like that mute can kind of counteract all of these BKB saves. It's just, I don't know if you can expect that farm to come onto Redis anytime soon.
It just feels like he needs too much. He needs a 4-star, probably a Glimmer Cape. Like, comparatively, say, you look at Falcons, they waited till they had all that utility. You know, you had the BKBs up, you had the Rod of Atos up. It's just so hard to kill anyone. Like, every time you jump snaking, he snowballs. Every time you try to go for crit, he pops Pierce the Veil, you can do nothing.
No.
It just, the fights are taking too long for Na'Vi, and they just want to burst Falcons down ASAP. So I think at this point, Na'Vi, you got to sit back, secure your own BKBs. You know you're in for a long fight. These are not going to be short, easy fights.
No, it's going to be quite the skirmish. And when it comes down to prolonged fights, it's hard to tell who actually wins out. I would say you'd have the edge on Falcons. Razor does tend to enjoy being in the middle of things here.
They're feeling it. They feel the momentum now. Falcons looking to the mid lane. They'll see Got the Juice. Pulverize is out. ATF, he'll start with the static link immediately and Got the Juice, who's in big trouble. He'll try to move back in almost, but I think he needs to get out of there. And he will do so as now PMA will move in just in case. But borrowed time down. They're not going to want to fight as Malrine jumping in, trying for more. Will find Zayat. Takes down Redis to boot. The Falcons, they are playing this game very clean. ATF looking for more, won't find anything else, but just the patience to retreat. We'll wait for the right targets. Oh look, there's two supports. Let's just jump back in. It's just very clean gameplay.
Very clean, very calculated out from Falcons. Again, you're looking at the issues here for the side of Na'Vi. That initial jump in and that entire movement didn't even have a BKB pop here from Malrine. He gets glimpsed, no problem. You got the Pulverize he wanted. You have room for Amar to just do what he wants. Roche available now as well. And there's just no way you can contest right now in Na'Vi. All you can hope for is to just sit back, farm, hope for the best. Maybe an opening appears. Maybe you get this BKB up on Niku, and it starts to help your cause. But it's getting harder and harder to see that angle that they have to take. For Na'Vi, the ideal has to be pickoffs. If you want to find something in the next 5 to 10 minutes, it has to be single target pickoffs. It feels like when it comes down to team fights, you're not going to have too good of a time. You could try to maximize this monkey kicking pick from Niku, try to set some aggressive wards forward, maybe try to snipe out Skeeter if possible. Just get some information out. I mean, they're spawning Malrine. This is not the target you want to go on a Primal Beast, of course, unless you drag every hero here. Which it looks like they might be attempting to.
They're going to try and start something down at this bottom. Snaking is the closest target, but a nice quick blink away from Snaking. So no victims here from Falcons down at the bottom lane. There's your BKB of Niku. Got the Juice is currently trying to get a blink up, and I think that's going to be very important for him to actually be able to jump somebody he can hit. You might be waiting out at least that blink on Got the Juice before you try for any more fights. And happy days, Riddies has queued up the X. So you do have the eggs coming out. It's going to take a long time, though.
That it is.
It's not going to be that quick. There's not that much area on the map to farm for this poor Disruptor.
No, maybe if you get a greedy enchantment later on, could be the way to go. Just boost that up a little bit more. You stall for time. You'll eventually get it with the greedy. If you get lucky, of course. We'll see later on. That blink you were mentioning is up and flying out to Got the Juice. So, again, you have a way of getting on top here on the Abaddon. It's just that it doesn't feel like that's going to be a concern. Like, yeah, the mischance is going to be annoying for someone like Skeeter, but do you care about it on Malrine? Not really. Do you care about it too much on Amar? Not really. You can kind of rely on your magical output. With a Storm Surge and Eye of the Storm. So, I know, it just feels like there's still something missing here for NAVI. They'll get some room out to push a bot tier 1 at the very least. Finally equalizing some map control in, taking away all the tier 1s on Falcons. So, equalizing the game just a tad bit, but you don't mind on Falcons. And you're using the map space really well. You've invaded the bot jungle, you still have control in your top. And they smoke in.
Oh, they don't cut. Niku, he'll jump down beforehand. But they got a BKB forced out. Glimpse back Maureen, but it's not going to matter because ATF is now here. 4-staff away on Niku. Pop the Wukong's command. They'll lose Riddies though. Niku, he's still around. They've still got a great target. And Niku, he's still trying with the balance strike to get away, but surely he cannot. They will catch him. Another successful engagement for Falcons.
And this time it was, again, a very clean set of fights. It's just, you have everything you could ask for. This blink on Snaking to help target out. I mean, yeah, you miss out on the tree cut. Very quick reactions out from Niku. Yes, it's just not enough. I'm not sure what you're hoping for here, Maureen. That's exactly what you're doing, Maureen.
Yeah, you get him, Maureen. Top lane. Jump in, they'll try for crit. Pierce the Veil was pumped. They'll get the drinking buddies out from Snaking to boot, and Crit is actually just casually walking out of there. Got the juice, they're going to make the jump in. He'll find them where to eventually. So Crit will go down, they'll get something for their trouble. But just seeing how challenging it is to just get even a support.
I mean,
unbelievable.
You have to try out a lot. Again, this is the consequence of Na'Vi not finding those openings. Falcons are reaping the benefit. Just harder to play into them. You have to deal with a refresh on Maureen, double pulverize, double BKB on this Primal Beast. It's just insane.
Oh, Skitter. And he's got an Aegis up. They saw him there underneath that vision, but Skitter, he'll leave the area. Looks like they're not feeling confident enough to try for the Nature's Prophet quite yet. Fair enough. And so we're at a 5-10 now. 10k advantage sitting Falcons' way. They'll have a minute left on the Aegis. Almost 30 minutes into the game.
Yep.
More BKBs to come out. And again, if you're wondering why they're playing so slow, John, it's because one of these teams is leaving today.
That they are.
It's scary.
It's a lot in the line. This is your journey in Riyadh. It's a
Maureen,
jump one.
He's jumping in. Niku was caught. Zayats, though, with the Terrorize helping out. Skitter now going to jump in, though. Niku looking to try and escape. Sprout will lock him in. And Niku with the BKB trying to get away. He's going to have to fight back. Niku! Can he man fight? No, he cannot. He will go down. Riddies will drop to boot. And they'll look for more now. PMA got the juice, trying to retreat, but Snaking's on the chase with the snowball. The shards, though, will not lock them in. They've dived deep. Snaking will go down. It looks like Zayat should be in trouble. He'll drop to boot, but Crit might die, and he will. PMA will get something with Got the Juice. They'll jump the timber now. Try for the big boy. PMA, though, with the chain TP away. Does he make it in time? He does not. Maureen with the onslaught just in the nick of time. It's a 4-man wipe for the side of Falcons. The only survivor was Got the Juice.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing some of that impact on the Abaddon with the illusions. The damage is there. You're just seeing the issues. You can't really fully commit with a hero up front. The many angles you have in Falcons to just take these fights, it's almost endless. You've got the blinks up, you've got this onslaught, you've got the refresh BKB. Maureen can just play like a maniac in this game. Full Satanic up and running now for Amar. Like, so a lot to be concerned about on Na'Vi. And it's hard to see, again, where the light is for Na'Vi. They're still getting that build up. The AC is going to be impactful from Got the Juice. Maybe at that point you can start to connect a little bit more, put your body forward, actually utilize that damage you have on the Abba, kind of clean things up. But again, you just look at how this fight broke out. You got a solid window to try to burst down Maureen by himself. You just don't have output.
Yeah, you don't have output, you didn't have the numbers. Niku, I mean, he made it as hard as humanly possible to try and get him. Once he ran out of that Jingu Mastery, though, he knew he was out of luck. PMA, he's still doing very solid work in the middle of these fights at the Timber, but they're just completely ignoring him. Everyone just completely ignoring him the whole fight. That's the way to do it. And Falcons, I'm yet to see them lose a fight.
No.
I'm yet to see them lose a fight this game one.
Again, it's just been really smart, really consistent out from Falcons. Very calculated play so far. We'll see if Na'Vi can try to bust that open. They get the smoke out themselves. Oh. This is a big timing to smoke into it. The Daedalus of Skitter. He can just teleport in and do a ton of damage. You have to be a bit cautious here on Na'Vi.
It's spooky, Jonathan. It's very spooky. Falcons, they're in position. They've got that high ground again. Got the juice. He'll have his smoke broken. They know Malreen's in the tree line somewhere, and eventually they will see him. Instead, they'll run into ATF. Probably not the target. Got the juice, wants to be around. He'll have all his damage just drains away. Meanwhile, Niku, he just can't get out of there.
No.
Malreen with the refresher off. Just double pulverizing, because they do get crit. But got the juice is gone up. The worst possible start to the fight you could have asked for NAVI. Zayat probably not making it out. We'll try to make it hard, but it's not really that difficult.
No.
You couldn't have asked for a much worse start. I mean, you blinked right into ATF.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all your damage is gone.
Nah, again, it's just the beauty of that Razor pick. You're right into an Abaddon. It's not protected. You have to always be cautious about where this Razor's at. You don't have...
They found PMA! Oh, they found PMA. He'll BKB up. He'll have to do something. Chain away, but he's got no TV play and he's got very low mana. PMA is going to drop. Falcons, they find all of them.
Yeah, this is getting scary for NAVI. I mean, you talked about that silver lining of PMA getting some damage out. I don't know if you'll even have the durability to get that damage out with the full Ags up and running here for Malreen. Having that innate break, it's not going to be feeling good for the Timbersaw up front. And it's just so much magical damage. And like what the panel said, no one's going to be building auras. So there's nothing to block off those little shards running around. There's nothing to block off the trample. There's no one going for pipe. There's no one going for Crimson Guard. And yeah, you can kind of take advantage of that on NAVI, with Falcons also not having the aura, but it just feels much more impactful on Falcons to not have to deal with any barriers here.
A very challenging game now. 20k advantage for Falcons, 8-18. Bottom, who are they chasing? Poor old Riddy's just trying to get some healing lotuses for himself, doing all he can on the map right now. But Riddy's will die. Snaking will cut him off on the bridge. He is getting closer to the Aghanim Scepter on that Disruptor, but I really do feel like at this stage, it's just, you may as well give him farm priority, because I don't know what else has changed in the game.
No, this is it. It has to be that Static Storm mute. If you can find the gold for it. He does have Greedy, so eventually that gold will come in. Very fortunate to find that with his tier 3. Just a little bit more passive gains for you there to hit that timing. But I don't know, I mean, this is kind of crazy. 34 minutes in, 21k lead for Falcons, 8-19. And for NAVI, I mean, you are closing into a Scotty timing here for Niku. The slow, the stats for the Monkey King gonna feel nice as well. You've got the overwhelming blink coming out for Got the Juice, a lot of forward presence for him once he has that up. It just doesn't feel like it's gonna be enough yet. Again, I know, like, you look at a burst window, it just doesn't feel very clear cut. Maybe if you can tank through effective damage here on Got the Juice and by the space, find the connection for PMA and Niku, things can start to look up. It's just Falcons have not made any sort of mistake at all to kind of provide you that leeway. A little bit of a smoke out from Falcons now as well, as they've got the full Satanic up and running on Skitter. See if they find a flank around. A little bit late for the Shrine of Wisdom, but maybe someone in the triangle.
Well, PMA, that'll be a nice target. He's not quite as hard as he was to deal with earlier. Malreen, just an absolute menace on this Primal Beast. 8-0-6 is his scoreline this game. Skitter gonna find himself another crit. He'll get the fear in time. Zayat to drop to boot. They are just dropping like flies all across the map. NAVI still looking for a way to break back into this game.
They are. I mean, they get both Shrines of Wisdom. That's a glimmer of hope, I suppose. Issue is, off of those kills, free Roshan coming out for Falcons. They don't even need all their heroes. There's enough damage here from Skitter alone to just get that done himself. You have to deal with a secondary life and a Roche banner coming in here. Falcons has this high ground opportunity. And for the side of NAVI, your hope still lies on Riddies. If you can get this Ags before the high ground threat comes in, or, you know, before all of your tier 2 towers go, you can force a fight outside.
Oh, Niku. They'll cancel, they'll break the tree. Malreen, he's just too good when it comes to this Primal Beast. He is just too darn good, Jonathan.
Even the Rock Throw just being on point, knowing how to get those chain stuns going here. 8-22, a very comfy game for Falcons, and for NAVI, it's just a struggle. Just looking for a way of even putting up a fight right now up against Falcons. Needing more time. They're about 900 gold away from this full Ags on Riddies. It's just that, I don't know, like it has to be a perfect start. Right? If you can somehow find a static storm angle without the blink up on your disruptor, again, things can start to look up. If you're dealing with 2 lives, with refreshes up, you have just gotten way too many resources in Falcons that you might not even care for the mute on static storm anymore.
No, and Skitter's hitting like an absolute truck with that amp damage. This tier 3 tower, just not going to last whatsoever. ATF even just slowly sieging top tier 3 as they will go through the mid racks. NAVI, they're not going to buy back on Niku. They'll wait at least for the respawn to try and defend. Meanwhile, as you're seeing, we are still seeing Riddy's trying to rush that Aghanim Scepter, but he's still about 600 gold off. He still needs time. So Falcons, they do look to retreat, but I wouldn't blame them for just wrapping around top lane and pushing again.
Yeah.
Why stop?
I mean, there's no reason to stop when you're 30k up at 37 minutes in. Almost 1k per minute being farmed up by Falcons is an advantage. And again, I mean, you have nothing to worry about. There's still so much time on the Aegis. Still have that refresh. BKBs are up. Backdoor kicks in doesn't even matter right now for Skitter.
No, it didn't. Skinner happily going away. Tier 3 tower now gone. Falcons still seeing 0 threat from NAVI, and I don't quite blame them. Top round, just look at the damage. Oh.
It's kind of dumb.
It is dumb, John.
Get that drinking buddies up as well, plus 110. Nice and easy.
He's missing most of his hits, mind you, for whatever reason. He poor old Skitter. But that's all right.
They've got it. Maybe. Maybe this is the fight.
Here it is. He's got the Axe up. We've got to jump in now. Skitter, he's dropping low already, but got the juice dropping even lower. He gets the bro time in time to try and survive this input. Meanwhile, Skitter still going on to the Abaddon. Niku jumps in. There's your static storm. It's caught Skitter in it, but he's got the Aegis. It's only 1 life down. That's not the Axe ulti you really wanted. That wasn't it.
They call it.
And they call it. That was their last-ditch attempt. It doesn't work out. They try their best to salvage. But Falcons for game 1. I mean, there's no 2 ways about it. They would.
There's a lot to play for. I think something about signatures and copy-paste coming out here.
That's all right. That's all right.
Well.
If you're going to sign signatures, you should sign them, Jonathan. Don't just not sign them, right? I heard that's a thing now. They press autographs these days, apparently.
Really?
They do.
People do that?
They do.
Wow.
Not us.
We're not famous enough.
we don't have to sign anything, John.
Yeah, no one's going to ask for anything. Come on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
That's all right.
There's like one fella out there.
I won't take a loan out on the press then.
No.
No, not yet.
But yeah, like back to the point. Again, this draft is very unforgiving from Falcons. It feels like what the panel was saying, you don't have the counteraction to deal with what you have here on NAVI. For NAVI's part, I mean, they've got this early tempo. The SF safe lane should be a lot quicker here for Got the Juice in comparison to the Abaddon.
Yeah.
And maybe this time around, Niku can get some action going with that Primal Beast himself, right? Like maybe he's going to creep cut. His lane matchup against Timbersaw is pretty awkward. So you should be trying to set up. But Malorine is very familiar with that. Again, he played a Primal Beast last game. He knows what a Primal Beast will want to do against the Timbersaw, so he can kind of set up for it preemptively.
You certainly can. You certainly can. See how the Falcons want to deal with this. NAVI, Falcons. Game 2. Falcons 1 step away from proceeding through the playoffs. NAVI fighting for their lives here in this game number 2. And again, I hate to say it, but you know, if you look at the record, all 2-0s today.
Yep.
This could be the breaker.
Yeah.
It is you and I, cast.
It is us.
Yeah.
It is very, very strange to have a game, I don't know, end sub around 40, 38 to 45 for us.
Strap yourselves in.
Yeah, this should be it.
Make your popcorn. You've got time.
This could be the game where we get, what, 2 kills in 40 minutes?
Let's hope so.
Yeah?
Let's hope so.
Find something to talk about, as per always. The mid lane matchup, again, as we were mentioning, is not going to be the easiest for Niku. He's not setting up for the pulse. Maybe by level 2, he can start to cut. He doesn't have the forward vision as well. So when it comes down to it, as long as you walk up here, Malorine's going to have a very good old time with that Whirling Death, and could even be cheeky and drop some Iron Branches later on if you'd want to kind of get cheeky with some burst if you'd really want to attempt. But just controlling the lane this way, getting that free farm out for Malorine should feel good. Again, it's still not fun for Niku. If he's not going to cut, he's not going to lane too well.
Oh, Zayat's chasing down Snaking. Snaking is a fast man. Zayat still going for the chase. Has shards up in 6 seconds. Hits a courier while he's at it. Has the shards up in 2. I don't think he has enough now to get the kill, but he's still going to try for it, I think. Anyway, never mind. He'll hold on to the mana. Snaking will be perfectly fine. Meanwhile, mid, Niku in danger, though he is is going for the trample onto Maureen, but he hasn't got quite enough to finish off the job. Neither does Maureen, though. He ran out of mana. No Whirling Death to be thrown out.
No. And again, you are working this lane nicely on Niku. This is playing on the edge. Both sides kind of matching each other in CS. Slightly ahead in denies here for Maureen. Would want to see if there's any emphasis on water runes. It doesn't look like it. Both sides will kind of get 1 for 1. You're going to be happy with equilibrium here for the side of Falcons and for the side of NAVI. But you are, again, just waiting for the spike on Maureen. He does get level 3, level 2 Whirling Death is up. The threat is there up top. Lane that we haven't really talked about outside of Chase here. Amar on his Pango up against Got the Juice on that Lasting Presence SF. And there's some play here. Like with the Undying, a couple of the case into Raze combinations can be big, but you can't underestimate just how much mobility you actually have here for Falcons. With a rebound eventually coming up, with the Swash, the Shield Crash ready on Amar, there is a lot of ways to just get on top of that SF early on when the damage isn't really there and kind of punish out. You're going to have to work with making some spacing here from Riddies, and he's doing a fine enough job. No, not too much pressure on Got the Juice at the very least up top.
No, certainly not. Now, Maureen trying to be so annoying here towards Niku. They're still keeping pretty much on parity with CS on the mid lane, so very even affair between these two. This last game round, you heard the panel talk about it, John. Niku, he couldn't get active. There was just nothing to do on the map as the MK. No. I imagine he wants a similar kind of game, though, on the Primal. Like, you can hope to just sit back and farm the BKB before you do anything, but you'd much rather get active if you can.
That you would. Again, this timing at level 5 is pretty early, but certainly feasible for Primal Beast to get things going. Down mid, you are just seeing a lot of pressure every time you commit that trample out. Just have the Whirling Death and the trade back is good. Top, though.
Yeah, Riddies, he's going to drop the Tombstone, but it's all too late. He is down. Got the Juice unable to protect his ATF, able to secure first blood.
Yeah, a lovely injection coming out for the Pangolier. And that is concerning. You get this timing into Diffusal. None of your heroes on the side of Navi will enjoy that high damage Swash. Especially something like the SF. You are somewhat of a hybrid carry. You want some raises. You want to have enough in the tank to try to Requiem with, say, your Mask of Madness BKB later on. So this initial spike lining up for Amar off of top is going to be concerning. The bot lane, again, has been very stable as well for Skitter.
PMA gonna go down. Nice catch by Skitter. PMA not quite anticipating the move in, and PMA gonna go down now. Skitter having a fantastic start to his laning stage of snaking, trying to get a bit of revenge onto Zayats. Unable to finish off the kill onto the Tusk, but you almost rather just leave them with the low HP and let them run back to the fountain.
Yeah, just kind of waste some time. Ensure the Tusk is not going to gain some free EXP. This combination of Darkseer Tusk in the lane, on paper, is one of the stronger lane combinations, but we've seen this before, Mike, especially in the road to the Esports World Cup. This Darkseer plus melee lane sometimes is just ultra slow. You're not really able to apply too much pressure. DK is tanky enough to not care. You've got enough move speed here on snaking that he's not going to get easily caught out as well. So you're not able to leverage that pressure. And for Falcons, and this is as fantastic of a start as you could hope for here. Every lane kind of going very smoothly, no pressure early on. You don't have these shenanigans coming out for Niku. He's lagging behind now in terms of EXP in comparison to Maureen. He hit 6. You're still 4 turning to 5 here for Niku. The threat is high from the side of Falcons. Just solo kill potential for Maureen's there.
He's diving. Level 2 chains up. Niku, he can't survive it. Maureen finding another kill for Falcons. I mean, every single lane has had a core finding a kill already.
Yeah, and that's not good news for Navi. Again, it's very similar to Game 1 draft where you kind of want to have some early tempo. There is some timings you can fall back on at the least for Navi. Right, this time you can hang around, wait for PMA to get some of the aura game going. Maybe you wait for the trifecta on the SF, Mask of Madness, Dragonlance and Crystallis tends to be that kind of build-up for Shadow Fiend, and you can kind of get launching from there. I am just concerned with how much Falcons will get out early on, because again, there's no contest coming out to Skitter. There's no contest coming out on mid for Maureen on that Timbersaw. There's no pressure up top either stopping Amar.
Well, they'll catch snaking. So Niku getting a bit of a freebie down bottom. Meanwhile, they've got the Juice. He's a much bigger kill. He needs some help to come in. Riddies is there with the Tombstone, and that'll force them back as now they need to TP away with crit, but he's going to go down. Got the Juice. Able to secure something as Maureen now looking mid lane as the Zayats, but won't dive the tier 1 while Niku's around. So Navi showing signs of life here in this game number 2.
Some important kills to find, some good punishment coming in there for Navi. in a way of just kind of keeping themselves. That aggression up top for Falcons not panning out and, you know, giving this free gold injection out to Got the Juice. And this SF has been doing well. The top lane has been the best lane so far for the side of NAVI. Got the Juice is getting that build-up. Does have the early Falcon Blade flying out. And again, the usual build-up of Mask of Madness, Hurricane Pike, and just more to come. Maybe that Chrysalis we see, or the BKB in this kind of game. And again, there's some timings to fall back. Falcons, their lead isn't that massive. It will be a 1-for-1 on the Shrines of Wisdom as well. Both sides will get some decent pickups for the supports.
Oh, PMA.
The triangle, though.
He's just trying to run out of here. Vacuum back on Maureen, but he's still going to go down. Maureen, just such a menace this series. Snowball's going to fly out. They're going to try and chase him down, see if they can secure anything with Zayats, but no. Maureen, you can't deal with him at the moment. And now poor old Niku, he's put in a position he doesn't want to be in. So Niku, he's going to drop and triple kill for Maureen. Oh, you couldn't have asked for a better start.
That you couldn't, and that's Falcons again pushing the envelope, being the aggressors. This time around with much earlier timing. They're not needing to wait for too much. You can rip these triple strength heroes to shreds. You take over the triangle, you steal some farm away. You've got some good early wards as well to keep scouting here from Falcons. And you're buying space out for Amar to just play his own game up top. Again, the slowest lane so far has been that off lane of Falcons. They'll try again, just a bit of poking.
Not going to find snaking, but top lane, Riddy's in trouble. ATF, though, just looking to perhaps look to roll away, and he will do so. Not seeing the opportunity to try and finish off the kill, he will back his way out. But at least Tombstone expended, Rolling Thunder expended, not too big of a deal for either side. Falcons, I mean, it's not a repeat of last game because there's a lot more action already, but in terms of laning stage and the way the net worth's going, Falcons are having basically a repeat game.
That it pretty much is. And you have to remember the tower threat as well here from Falcons is pretty high. You've got DK on hand with the Corrosive Dragon. You've got a Pugna on hand with level 3 Nether Blast ready. There's some good pressure that can come in here.
Yeah, big group up, but Maureen's already here, and he's the big danger. If you're Na'Vi, is Zayat's already just going to melt. Here comes Niku with the onslaught, but who are we going for? PMA's in trouble. PMA's going to go down. This fight's over. And I think Reddy's, he doesn't even have Tombstone. Pulverize out from Niku, but he's been left behind. Falcons just absolutely destroying Na'Vi.
That they are. Just no room to breathe.
A very forced fight as well. You didn't have Tombstone.
No. I think, again, for Na'Vi, they're trying to fix some issues from game one. Maybe they feel confident with this ward that Zayats drops early, but you're just not at that. You're not at that point in the game. You don't have a big steroid item up yet for Got the Juice. Just relying on raises at this point in the game. You don't have the auras up yet for PMA either. Like your resources aren't there to get this kind of movement out. And they get a little bit greedy, maybe not expecting anyone to show up down bot, certainly punished for it. 9-2, 3K lead up for the Falcons. As the side of Na'Vi, I mean, they have got to measure some patience out, right? Like, look at the vision game coming out from the side of Falcons. Crossing that river is a nightmare right now. So many good defensive wards coming in.
Oh, they found another. Zayats, he's not having a good game whatsoever. Maureen just terrorizing Zayats, finding another. He's already on to 7 kills here, Maureen. We're 10 minutes in, Maureen.
Yeah.
What, was he listening to the cast last game? Is that why he's upset?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I'm sure even the players weren't too happy with just playing a slow game. You know, Falcons, they love to be explosive. They love to dive bomb, and that they are doing here in this game. 10-3, 4K lead being maintained. That push is starting to kick in. Mid falls, looking for a swing up top. This is not safe for Na'Vi. I mean, how do you take team fights? You've got the vac wall, you've got Pulverize, sure, but you can't get into position to get that done. You can't get the easy connections with Requiem yet. This is a deep smoke from Falcons, but cutting off Got the Juice here is massive if they can find him.
Riddy's will break the smoke. But Skidder, he knows. He knows Got the Juice is right behind. They'll drop the Tombstone on the cliff. They need some TPs ASAP, and here they come. Zayats will be around. The Croaker even getting involved. Crit is in danger. But Maureen, he is just too much, isn't he? Well, Vizzy, he's trying to back away now. Na'Vi seeing the opening. They'll go for the chase, but here comes ATF with the Rolling Thunder, trying to lock him down. They are dropping low on Falcons, but can they continue? Na'Vi still trying. They'll find Crit. That's one down. Skidder and Maureen trying to retreat. There comes the hills out onto Niku. Niku dropping low. ATF meanwhile holding them all back, but ATF will go down as now they can punish. Snaking. will connect. Will get stunned rather by Zayat. 3 down for Falcons. NAVI finally able to punish his Falcons. They get a little bit too excited by the T2 top tower.
That they do. I think there's a couple of things there that were really cool from NAVI as well. I think this tombstone placement from Riyadh was right as the timber chain was coming in. So he cuts that tree on the cliff and just prevents the timber saw from coming in ASAP, which means you don't have that burst damage to kill off Got the Juice, which means he can get off of Requiem, he can start to set up for his team. You have to pull that position back on the side of Falcons. And you do have some of that aura coming in. You already have the mech from PMA, and that alone is just enough sustain to come in. As you can see again in the replay, that tombstone cutting the tree. Your positioning isn't on point here for Mallory. That gives you the opportunity to get that Requiem, to get these TPs coming in, because they couldn't find that key kill. And once the aura was in play from PMA, you had enough sustain. Amar as well, his role, not the best we've seen from him. Kind of stuck in a very, very weird spot in the middle of that engagement here.
Yeah, it certainly was. Falcons with their wounds and give it back to the drawing board, see what went wrong with this fight. Bright side is they didn't lose Mallory.
No.
Because that would have been a lot of gold. A lot of XP if they had found the timber. So it's not all doom and gloom here for Falcons. As we do get back into a 10-5, 2K advantage still standing for Falcons, but that last team fight did allow Got the Juice to hit the top of the net worth as they do move in top lane after ATF trying to fight with the shield crash. Swashbuckle doing a lot of damage, in fact. He'll turn around with this one. Got the Juice has been caught. Here comes Skidder. Maureen to follow up, and Got the Juice has gone too far, but the heals do come in. PMA with the back wall, but it's not enough. ATF will finish the job off as NAVI is still trying, but snaking, taking him down one by one. Maureen, he's the one being hunted, but how do you kill him? How do you kill him?
It's just not enough. And this is a Timber Saw without reactive armor up yet. This is without the Ags up. They get that positioning just right. Amar is not an easy target to go for if you don't fully commit. Again, you have to think about this initiation angle that Navi has to approach. You don't have that magical SF that can just come in and burst. You have that control up, sure, with your Primal Beast, but you're not at the point where the output on Got the Juice is that high yet. Again, he's got Mask of Madness, Dragonlance. It's a start. The Hurricane Pike's coming next, BKB as well. But it only gets ridiculous once you have something like your Crystallis up. And you are still a ways away from that point. 15-6, 5K lead for Falcons. Finding a grip back after that rough fight up top by the Tier 2. And for Na'Vi, I mean, they're getting some of that confidence back, right? Like, they're making plays. They're looking for these opportunities. They need to be a little bit more cautious as to who they pick off, who they attempt to pick off, and where they attempt to make these plays. Right by the Tier 1, a little bit of a danger zone, considering how fast it is to TP.
Well, Niku jumping in again with the Iron Shell. ATF, no Rolling Thunder for another 2 seconds, but he might just have it in time as the Onslaught does not connect. Skidder will jump in. PMA is there to back up Niku, but ATF now thinking about initiating with that Rolling Thunder, and eventually he will decide to commit. It's only a 2v2 so far, and it seems like nothing will come of this. Both sides able to get away just fine.
Yeah, I like that from Falcons, showing some respect for just, again, this teleportation area for the side of Na'Vi to kind of make their way into. You don't have Malrine around as well to try to get this burst damage off. He's playing on a different side of the map. So you're not feeling the most confident to get that deep dive. They are smoked up, though, looking for a connection into that triangle here.
Yeah, they certainly are. Na'Vi, though, might get caught off guard. Crit with a perfect position. He'll get stunned up. Tombstone has been dropped, but nobody's down yet. He'll rebound away. Snowball in from Zayat, but he's just going so deep into the loving arms of Malrine. And this is the thing. Like, you see the timber, you've just got to run. It's not safe. Ooh. Do they find Riddies? No. Riddies will get out of there. They'll only lose Zayat. But as far as I'm concerned, if they're going into the timber, you may as well turn back around the other way. It's not going to work out.
Yeah, you've got to U-turn. There's no way you're dealing with Malrine just yet.
No, sir.
He has so much damage, and it gets worse once this Hags is up with that barrier going. I don't know where that damage is gonna have to come in from here for the side of Na'Vi. It almost feels like, again, they'd want a pickoff game. They need some forward vision. The map has just been dark as it was in Game 1. Falcons has just been very good with getting information across the map. Again, they've got these cheeky wards up top, watching the gates, seeing that movement from the Primal Beast. They can line up bot if they want, although...
He's going to find another victim. Riddies does survive. No, in fact, he doesn't. The Guardian Greaves heal not proving to be enough against this timber. As Malrine now 11-0 and 4 on the kill score.
That's just, again, very similar to Game 1, what we're seeing from Malrine. Give him something early, active,
Nico.
and he delivers.
Nico trying to secure some farm, cannot do so. Crit will gank him up. Meanwhile, Maureen terrorizing the top lane. Zayat and PMA will try to get away, but there's no getting away here for Zayat unless he can juke out with the snowball, but it's not going to pan out. It's got the juice. Requiem, he's thinking about it. Snake King, he'll see him though. They've got the info. Maureen, happy to jump in. They hesitated. Got the juice. He's got no chance now. Surely no chance. There's a double kill from How many times am I going to say that, John? Yeah. Double kill, triple kill. I may as well just say Maureen.
Yeah, just say Maureen. That's all you need to say in these team fights. Try it. Give it a shot next time. Just Maureen. That's it.
That's it.
That's all you need. He's been popping off. Again, very similar to game one. He has a strength hero. He's not being contested in lane. You weren't getting those pull shenanigans out from Niku. Mind you, trying to get that done up against a Timbersaw, perhaps a little bit of a challenge. But there's no mitigating factors out from Na'Vi. Your supports couldn't really try to move mid and bully out this Timbersaw. Your side lanes had to have those supports planted in because of how stable the lanes are from the side of Falcons. And you're forced to play a recovery game out here on the side of Na'Vi. 20-6, 10K lead up for Falcons very early on here as we approach the 18-minute mark. And again, things are just set to get even rougher. Orchid coming in soon for Skitter. You've got that full Ags up and running for Malrine with Assange coming on top of that soon. You've got Umar going into his full Linken's up with a Blink and Shard. Already has the ultimate orb up as well. So I just don't know. I just don't know how you're going to have to deal with him. This BKB timing from Niku can be nice, but you have enough to kind of deal with. You can, if the BKB's pop, you could just dispose your ally or try to rebound pick me up. If, you know, because it doesn't care. Drag them to a safer position and just, again, stall out the fight.
Oh, they don't even feel safe to go after this tier 1 bottom tower at the moment. It's just that scary. They will look to retreat again. Skitter reveal himself back down to this bottom lane. Maureen now with the Sanjiasha up. 9.5 minutes faster than average, John.
Yeah.
I'm not too surprised this game about that.
Nope.
Maureen, looks like he's not done yet. Wants a bit more action. Niku, Zayat, highly recommend we just look back the other way. Chaka Yui, boys.
Yeah, pretty much just no way you're touching Malrine anytime soon. And I don't know, like if you're Falcons now, you can do whatever you want at this point. There is a concern perhaps of allowing Got the Juice to farm up. Like despite this rough game,
oh no,
it's number 2 in net worth.
Oh, it's the same vision too.
Yeah.
It's the same ward. Do they have a stun? They do not. Skitter can't get there in time. So hopefully at this point, I think Niku may have picked up on the fact that there is vision in that area.
Yeah, should understand.
Zayat. He's being chased, snaking, not wanting to let him go. Looks for the TP away, and he's going to make. Cat and mouse is what we're seeing here in game 2, John.
I mean, that's all you can do in Na'Vi. Avoid as much as possible. You can get this farm up on Got the Juice. This SF, despite a rough game, has managed to get himself up to number 2 in net worth. Still getting that scaling going. BKB's coming out next. Full Hurricane Pike's done. Tormentor is free here for Falcons, though. And a freebie shard for Crit with a rebound. Having that longer cast range as well. I mean, there's just so much more utility. Again, Falcons just have a lot of angles to kind of look for these engagements. And for Na'Vi, it's hard to see that light. Again, it's just difficult to see what item fully fixes them here. The BKBs just don't feel enough. There's a lack of damage. Maybe if you stack up these auras up on PMA, the illusions can start to do some work with a vac wall. High ground defense at the least here for Na'Vi is pretty good. So you do have that to bank on. But whether or not Falcons kind of hesitates even for the high ground, we'll have to see later on.
Oh, they're coming. Falcons, not going to find anything on the east side of the map. Could stick around for a tier 2 tower if they want, but that's not really what they're looking for. They want some fights. They'll see Got the Juice in the mid lane. Everyone else from Na'Vi just farming the Radiant jungle right now, just trying to completely avoid the side of Falcons. Riddies, though, will not be so lucky, but he does at least tank the gank for the rest of his cores. So they do know exactly where Falcons are hanging about. But now Falcons, of course, going to go back and search through their own jungle, see if they can find these pesky heroes, or maybe even just go for Roshan.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
They've got the damage for it. It's not going to take too long. They know there's no real approach angle here from Na'Vi, so it's a freebie to take, opening up the high ground if they'd wanted, to have some threat. Still the first round of game, so no banner to simplify the high ground just yet, but again, you have some easy poke here on the side of Falcons. And that's a poke, no, that's a DK. They can still make short work of objectives if you allow them to just hit away. And we'll see what they get done with this Aegis up and running. Na'Vi still not seeing the shining light yet, but again, they are managing to get that form. Just a recipe away now for the BKB on Got the Juice. Maybe that helps the cause. Same thing going here for Niku, so double BKB timing is panning out. And that does do a lot. It cuts off the damage from this Timber Saw. You can hold your ground. You can kind of look for a Pulverized Requiem combination, perhaps. And that could be the way to go if you can land your shots here in Na'Vi.
I mean, it's got to be some perfect fights here from Na'Vi at this point. Falcons are just unrelenting. So head up north. Niku, he has his BKB now. This could be very nice timing for Niku to force a fight. And they're coming to him, but it looks like he wants to go back to the fountain and reset instead. No teammates around him. PMA will look to do the same. They're just trying to keep all the waves forced out to not allow these tier 2 towers to drop. But it seems though Falcons will slowly but surely start on that mid-tier 2 tower. It's going to be up to Na'Vi if they want to try and defend. I think even at this stage of the game, you might be looking at trying to force a fight while you're on the high ground. Oh, Maureen, look at this. He's sneaking up right behind them. They're going to see him, though. They'll try to make the jump.
Do they have damage?
Do they have him? Oh, they do. Maureen is down. Well, that's a lot of gold, Jonathan. Niku, he'll take about 2K away from that. I think he's pretty happy.
That he is. You do lose your mid-tier 2, but you'll take that trade any day for Na'Vi. And it goes back to what we're saying. You were looking for a perfect fight on a single pickoff. You got Pulverized Requiem. Not much you can really do here for good old Maureen. And that is the punishment you need on Na'Vi. You are still lacking map control. You need to do that maybe 2 more times, 3 more times if you can find these big targets. But the possibility is there. And that's the threat now for Falcons. You have to play it clean. You have to keep it clean. You have to respect that output is still there in Na'Vi, and the potential is always there to turn it around.
You tip Amar, you know he's going to start talking. Manta is the recommendation. Got the Juice says Rapier. No
silencer on enemy team. No point. I like that
Thank
mindset,
you,
Amar.
ATF.
Very nice.
Maybe the Divine ATF.
Yeah, why not? Got to go for the Ags first, but we'll see if he gets cheeky later on. Gets a little bit bored. Gets ahead of himself here, Amar. As again, Na'Vi, a little bit of a shot in the arm. Have some room to play. We'll finally find his bot tier 1, which has been alive for a dreadfully long time for Na'Vi. And there comes the BKB timings. BKB up on Got the Juice. You have the BKB already ready as well. Of course, on Niku. And eventually even a BKB up for PMA. So triple BKBs are there. Your impact on Maureen will get cut down just a tad bit. See if he kind of gets ahead of himself
jump
again.
In bottom. They've got themselves ready. Big pick off here from Falcons. Riddies, though, doing a good job again. Good positioning to tank the gank for his team. Will allow the rest to get out of there. Meanwhile, Niku, though, he's very low on mana. In fact, he's completely out. He will have a healing Lotus available if he needs to onslaught away. Meanwhile, bottom, Zayats does get caught eventually. So they are still going to pick him off. 2-for-0 special for Falcons.
Yeah, and they're still getting map control across the map. Of course, keeping that top shoved in. With all of this presence coming in from Amar. And still managing to correct down bot. The last outer tower left, of course, that bot tier 2. Gonna be the next safe objective for Falcons to go for before considering the high ground. Time on Aegis, not too much left, 1:40, so your window for a tier 3 is pretty small, but the tier 2 shouldn't be a problem as Riddies again.
We'll go down. Niku. I mean, they dropped the tombstone. He's thinking about it, but they're lacking quite a bit of vision here, so not looking to try and move in blind. They got the Juices slowly inching his way forward because they did see that Skidder was down at the bottom lane, hitting the tier 2 tower. But it's kind of hard to catch anyone right now. Like, it feels like it's all on Niku to try and find these initiations, and well, it certainly has been challenging as they'll head down towards the bottom. Skidder's already left the area, though, so they won't have the opportunity to try and go after Skidder either.
No. Again, it's just down to the vision game. Yeah, where's your forward information on Na'Vi? It's just non-existent. Falcons has some good wards watching the sides here.
That's a big boy. Rolovatos, they'll 4-staff him away. In fact, he 4-staffed himself away. Rolling Thunder, ATF, he's committed, he came back in, lock him down. There's your drinking buddies trying to help out Niku, he'll jump in, got that juice with the Requiem and the vac wall set up. ATF trying to get out, does make it out just barely. There's NAVI looking to back off, a Kret with a 3-man rebound out, locking him down, and Maureen right back to work. What a setup from Kret.
I mean, that looked perfect from the side of NAVI, you know, that's the kind of initiation they'd want, but again, it just falls flat. There was still time in the Aegis, still impact to come out from Skitter, and as you mentioned, Kret just again finding this angle in as the Marcy to cut them off. A nightmarish scenario for NAVI is that was probably their best shot. Like, that's off their commitment coming out quite nicely, just doesn't pan out, and with all of those resources down, I don't know how you stave off this high ground. Sure, at least Aegis is it up.
Oh no, got the juice. We'll get locked down by the Gleipnir there for a second. He's going to be all right. I don't know either, John. I'd like to say, I don't know what Navi's going to do here. I mean, they've got the right idea in trying to blow some people up with these vac walls and the Requiems, but it seems like you need to be the one setting these fights up. It can't be, you know, got the juice getting jumped and then we force a fight.
You've got to be able to initiate. Mayhaps, this full Silver Edge starts to help the cause for Got the Juice. Perhaps you can sneak in. Sentry coverage is somewhat there, at least on mid. Side lanes are still relatively open for that kind of play. So you do have an option here for good old Got the Juice. It's got to get that juice now, as Falcons are just looking to just keep going high ground. Again, even without Aegis, what do you care? You're so durable, you know. The circumstances that NAVI have to take are very specific and kind of tied into some cooldowns here.
They certainly are. Tier 3 top tower now. Falcons trying to find a secondary rat. They will force the Glyph and look to retreat a little bit as Maureen looking to mess around again with Niku. So annoying with this Gleipnir setup from Maureen. It's not something you see every day, but it sure is doing some work. A snaking. We'll get caught. That'll be a freebie. Got the juice. We'll find something, but how do you get away? Because Maureen's already here. They're already here, sir. He's got a PGP TP away if he wants it. I don't think he wants to commit, but he will have to try and get out. They'll leave Zayats behind. And Falcons, knowing the BKB's down in the SF, they might want to just force high ground.
I mean, there's no reason to wait any longer on the side of Falcons, for sure. The team fight combination is still there, but again, without the debuff immunity, the chances of Kret just coming in, but another good rebound, another good way of breaking up that fight is massive. And that's one less thing to be worried about on the side of Falcons. I will say as well, snaking was worth 500 plus, what 500 plus 502 gold on a Pugna at this point in the game. That is not a good feeling. Snaking's net worth is equal to PMA's almost.
That is a bit sad.
As a Pugna.
That is a bit sad.
Yeah. It's not a good game state right now for NAVI, but that's the hand they're dealt with. That's the hand they're going to have to try to figure out how to get some hot multipliers from their Jokers, Mike, if you get the Bellator reference.
Yes, I got it. You don't tell me the reference, John. You asked me if I got it first.
I'm saying it for the audience. If anyone still has the stream unmuted, of course. Just in case, Mikey.
Unbelievable.
It's a fun game. You know, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. But then I went back to real games like Dota 2, John.
Yeah, fair.
Right?
Of course. It's a real game. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's strategizing. Like this strategizing out from NAVI holding up.
Are they?
Somewhat. I mean, it is a strategy to avoid fights.
True.
You know?
Very true. They're trying their best here.
They
I mean,
are
it's a hard game. It's an impossible game right now for NAVI. 20k advantage, Falcons. Waiting for a Roshan attempt, I'm sure. Don't ask me to read the Roshan clock, Jonathan. You know how I get with that. Oh, it's an obvious one this time.
Yeah, this one should be short, but
we can't tell you how many minutes it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen.
I've seen these tiny ones last longer than I'd expect as well.
Okay.
Like I see it go down, then the yellow comes back, and I'm like, what's going on?
That's all right.
You know.
So it's spawning at like 7 o'clock or something. I think it was at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's something. I don't know. Still, simple Tormentor coming out for Falcons, who's getting a free short snaking. Gonna have fun with that life drain. Ah, you know what I miss? You know, remember the time when you'd get Lion in games and we had a match where there was life drain and mana drain, and that was beautiful. It was beautiful, John. We had a Rubik that stole. Oh, they found got the juice. Oh. Snowball's going to buy a bit of time from Zayats, but I think they might be forced to fight this one out. Backwall is there. It's still not good for Got the Juice. The Requiem does absolutely nothing. He's trying to man fight Skidder. In fact, he's winning the man fight. Skidder, he's going to go down. Got the Juice. Got the Juice trying his absolute best here, but he's still going to drop. PMA will also go down.
Why are we looking at Niku? He's just not there.
No.
As Reddy's will also drop. Triple kill for Maureen.
Oh, that's just so concerning. Even if you manage to get that kill onto Skitter, like you're seeing the output from everyone else skyrocket, although.
Yeah, Niku's still in danger. They'll chase him down. It just feels like they can get across the map so quickly here, Falcons. But who cares about heroes, John? You've got 3 down without buyback. You're going high ground.
You're not waiting. You've got the Nether Blast. It's not going to take too long. You'd wish you had the Flamethrower up, but beggars can't be choosers, and this should still take no time at all. And even with the respawns coming in, no BKB for 40 seconds, no Requiem for 40 seconds, no Vac wall combination for 40 seconds. You have a window where, sure, the heroes are back up. What can they realistically do to defend? Not much. They just have to wait for those tools to be back up and running. At the least, there is enough time that they're not going to be clearing up the last set of racks up top, so you're buying some space here on NAVI, but I mean, it's 31-9, it's 28K at 32 minutes in here, Mikey. It's almost like we're watching game 1 again.
It really does feel that way right now. I mean, Falcons certainly had their coffee today, I'll tell you that, John. Roshan will be going down, no issues here for Falcons. You saw that got the juice. He can stand there and fight, but it's not really that simple when the rest of your team, just has no sustainability in these fights. Like it just feels like they'll get out one spell and that's it. Good luck to you. Got the juice.
It's got to be that one spell that counts. You've got to find a Requiem to make it work. Maybe even get a good break off from your Silver Edge if you can afford. Going to get that window to get the right click BKB and instantly channel up, which is your window might be very tight here for good old Got the Juice. BKB finally up for PMA. Some options here for the Darks here to look for the angles with a Vac wall at the very least. But again, it's 31-9, a 27K lead for Falcons. NAVI looking for the biggest swing of their life if they manage to hold on here for their tournament lives at the Esports World Cup. And they'll try out with a smoke. Maybe. If this works out, you stall the game even further.
I mean, it could be game-changing this fight if they can find a way to make it work. Lines being drawn up towards the top lane. You'll have Snaking and Crit both there. They'll group up with the rest of their team. NAVI going directly north, hanging by the top lane at the moment. And it seems like Falcons have had a good read of this. They have retreated. They'll go for a counter smoke play now.
Yeah, they know no one's defending. Creep Wave is just shoving in onto tier 4s.
That'll make it obvious. That'll make it pretty obvious. And Falcons having a look to see if they can find themselves a cheeky pickoff. Keep in mind, there's no buybacks on NAVI at the moment. Everyone's short on gold. Apart from Zayat, who has it on Coolden.
It's going to be do or die for the side of NAVI if this one falls flat. And at the least, you don't find the cleanest angle from Falcons either, although you are danger close here.
Oh, PMA. He's very important for these fights. You don't want to see him drop too early. NAVI, he'll force staff away, but PMA just absolutely melting. Gleipnir out onto Riddies. Riddies will Yules. Try to run and he'll be somewhat successful, but Skitter's just chasing him down past the tier 4 towers. Takes down another, but Riddies will instant respawn. 4v5 is where we're at. Skitter onto the tier 3 top. Here comes Got the Juice from the backside. Snaking, he's going to be saved by Crit. It's not the target they want to start on anyway. I think they want Maureen or Skitter, but Skitter, he's jumped. Niku, he'll get saved with the tombstone, but it's not going to help. He looks like he's in huge trouble as he's down, but he will have buyback available. ATF getting started in the meantime. They'll take down Riddies to boot. Falcons, they call it. They call it. Falcons will proceed through to the playoffs of the Esports World Cup. And sadly for NAVI,
revenge.
They will be going home as Maureen makes the revenge call.
And he does, and Falcons, if this was revenge, I don't know how sweet it is.